good morning to Nick Helm.
Hey.
Good morning.
Is that me?
That's me.
Morning, Nick. Good morning. Good morning. That's a good song, isn't it? Alanis Morissette. That's a good album, isn't it? That's a good album.
It's great. That album, I watched a documentary once on how big it was.
Yeah.
It's basically the biggest selling album ever. I mean, it's not quite, but it's like the top 8.
Every track was a single.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it was mad. Well, you're very much a music man, Nick, aren't you?
A bit.
You've had a few albums. Have they sold as well as Jagged Little Pill?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I would say in terms of how many I got produced,
Yes.
then yeah. I sold nearly 100% of all of my albums. So that's not bad.
Yeah, you didn't have to have that moment, Alan Partridge, where they take his books to be pulped.
Well, how many copies of Jagged Little Pill has she got in her garage?
Exactly right.
That's a fair point.
Big lock-up somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah,
100%.
That's true. Yeah, it's true, actually. Yeah, it depends where you're looking at the mode or the sort of median.
That's
but
it.
overall, I think Nick Helm just pips it.
I don't know about science, Toby.
Sorry, it's early in the morning. Sorry to hit you with so much science. Nick Helm is with us, by the way, who's got a new stand-up tour. You will have seen Nick Helm, if not doing his wonderful stand-up, then on 8 out of 10 Cats and all those sorts of shows. You may have seen him, frankly, get embarrassed on Richard Osman's House of Games as well.
I wasn't embarrassed ever.
Oh, really? I was embarrassed for you.
Why?
Because I absolutely spanked you on that.
It was 3-2.
Yeah. So that's a battering in my book.
Well, okay, sure. It was years ago, Toby.
Toby hasn't let it go. Can you see this?
I look at that watering can every single day, and I think I picked the right choice, and I've got nothing but happy memories. So I guess coming second is sometimes being the winner.
It's weird because I remember when the week ended and they passed me the massive trophy. I remember Richard kept saying, Toby, you're the winner, you're the winner.
Yeah, but you're the most bitter one about it.
Oh, I'm bitter, but that's because my relationship with my parents.
Yeah, but so just, you won and I'm chomping at your heels, but I'm happy where I am, Toby.
Yeah.
And you can't get over the fact that I nearly beat you. My voice has got a real tone to it this morning.
Do you know what?
hasn't
It's nice, actually.
It's right down here.
It's a good advert voice. It's a good voiceover voice.
Thank you.
We could get you a gig on, you could be the person who talks in between songs on Magic, who just goes, Magic.
Oh, that'd be good.
Feeling bitter like Toby, then phone this number. Something like that.
That's very good, actually. Do you know that works a treat?
Sort of government help websites. Yeah.
Where did you put your trophy?
It's right next to the television.
God,
Yeah.
that must be
Yeah.
difficult to know what to look at, right?
Yeah. So, sometimes, we'll be watching a box set, me and my wife, and she goes, you're not paying attention, are you? I go, no, I'm just looking at the trophy.
Looking at your own reflection in your toe. Good for you. Good for you.
But anyway, it's lovely to see you, mate. It's very lovely to see you. So you got a new stand-up tour, No One Gets Out Alive. Is that just a title or a threat?
It's the threat. And it is a title as well, obviously. That's the title of the show.
What's it about? I always think it's weird asking a comedian what's the show about, because you sort of need to tell us what it's about without ruining all the material for people that are going to go and see it. So what's it about?
Imagine if I just did punchlines and I just ruined every single punchline without any of the sense.
I've got this one joke, you're going to love this.
What's it about? Well, I'm 44 now. I'll be 45 when I'm doing the tour. So it's about getting older, I think. Yeah.
Right.
I know what it is. Basically, the way I write it is I know how it ends and I know how it begins. And then a lot of the time I know what's in the middle, right?
Right.
And then I just thread that all together and I make a show.
Perfect.
It sounds very easy when you say that.
Yeah. Hello to Lucy in Warrington, by the way, who says, Nick very kindly posed on the floor next to my Toy Story trainers on his last tour. I love that man. Do you recall this?
Yeah, of course. I remember every single person I met.
Really?
Yeah.
Small tour, was it?
A small tour. It was all right. It was my biggest tour, actually. I remember the Toy Story shoes, yeah.
So she came up to you and said, there's Toy Story on my shoes.
Well, she wanted a picture with her shoes, and it was either her bringing her shoes up to where my face was, or it was me getting down to her feet, so I got down to her feet.
That's very good of you. So you're doing 30...
I've just done 2.5 hours of top-notch entertainment as well.
Yeah.
So it was even better of me than you
That
give me credit for this.
Sorry, I didn't give you enough credit.
Bit bigger.
Yeah, sorry. Wow, that's really good of you,
That's
Nick.
incredible, Nick.
Prince.
Whereas she'd done nothing. She'd been sat on her backside being entertained for 2.5 hours, and she can't even...
Well, she was all laughed out. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. I blame myself.
There was nothing left. No energy levels left.
She had nothing left. She
Yeah.
had nothing left. Fair play to her. 34 dates across the UK and Ireland this autumn from Friday the 12th of September to Saturday the 29th of November, including a closing show at London's Leicester Square Theatre, which is right
nice.
down here.
It is right down here. That is right down here. But also, what am I doing? We sold out 70% of the tickets in Reading over the weekend. Over the first weekend, which I was impressed with.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Are you particularly big in Reading? Is there a...
I guess so.
It must be huge in
I
Reading.
guess so. But I have a date in St Albans, which is my hometown.
I live around the corner.
Oh, where do you live?
I did in Harpenden.
Great. Well, let's talk about this off air.
Okay. So what I was going to say was, can I come to your gig? Is what I was going to say. It's just around the corner.
Of course you can. Buy a ticket.
23rd of November.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. So it's the 23rd of November, St Albans. Yeah, I want to sell tickets for that.
Right,
It's my
okay.
hometown. I've never gigged in St Albans before. I don't know what it's going to be like. You know, I'm just assuming that every single bully from school is going to turn up. And it's going to be like literally a fever dream, like a nightmare. Yeah, it's like a nightmare come true. It's what I'm imagining.
Dom's going. Did Dom bully you at school?
No, I'm considerably older than you.
Where are you from?
From Harpenden.
Harpenden. Yeah, it's not. Sorry, you did say, and it hasn't. It's that kind of place, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it is, exactly, yeah.
No offence to the people of Harpenden. I've
No.
got a St Albans gig nearby. Come along.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely venue as well.
Treat yourself. Leave Harpenden for the evening.
Travel the 4 miles to St Albans.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. We'll go to the gig in St Albans,
Yes.
and then I'll crash at yours, Dom.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Bridging the
Happy day.
divide. That's lovely.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. Nick's brilliant. If you've never seen a stand-up comedy, you're going to have an amazing time. You won the best joke of the Fringe in 2011.
2011, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? 14 years ago now.
That's terrifying, isn't it?
What were you doing 14 years ago?
I need to do some maths. I was at university studying history and, not winning Edinburgh Fringe best joke. I'd say that. I wasn't even winning the best joke in my house at uni.
Ask me what I was doing 14 years ago.
What were you doing 14 years ago?
Crushing it.
Winning awards. That's what I was doing. Shall I do it? Is it? Or do you remember the joke?
I do remember the joke. I do, because my dad wrote a very long rambling email with that joke in it. And I edited the email and I said, it's not like that, Dad, it's like this. And it was like this 3-paragraph story that ended with the punchline. And I rewrote it for him. And then I had 60 one-liners in all of my previews, and I'd whittle them down. And the ones that didn't get laughs, I'd cut them out, and then I whittled it down. And it was 1 out of 6, because I only need 6 jokes for my shows. I only do 6 jokes.
That's all you need.
Between 5 and 6 jokes, that's what you get with my shows. And I only needed 5 or 6 jokes, and it was one of the ones that ended up. And then I never really thought that much of it. And then it got picked out, and then it won an award. I needed a password 8 characters long, so I picked Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs.
Come on, it's a good joke.
You're welcome.
So your dad wrote that?
Yeah, we wrote it together, I'd say. He gave me the slab of marble, and I used my skills as a comedian to chisel it down into an award-winning sculpture. That's what I did. I'll do voices like that on the tour, I'm sure. So come along.
I'm sold. You're going to get 5 or 6 jokes.
Absolutely.
And the occasional funny voice.
Yeah.
And he'll pose with your trainers at the end. Will you pose with any shoes, or is it just specifically ones that have got Toy Story on them?
It was that one person's Toy Story shoes. I don't want you to overpromise for me, Toby. Anyone listening, he was joking about the shoes and trainers.
I'd love that if that was your thing. Hi Nick, can I get a photo? Yeah, no problem. Just on the floor next to some, just next to some normal shoes. Yeah, no worries. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, stop talking about the shoes, Toby. I'm serious now.
Sorry.
This is your second and almost final warning. You got 3 warnings.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'll try and be on my best behaviour from now on. Well, if you haven't got tickets yet, Nick Helm is doing 34 dates across the UK and Ireland this autumn. Autumn from Friday the 12th of September to Saturday the 29th of November. You've got an album coming out soon.
I do have an album coming. I'm finishing an album. After this, I do have something to do. After this, I'm going to Deptford to record my album.
No wonder you want to stay here a bit longer.
Deptford. Yeah.
So you're going to Deptford to record an album. Yeah. When will this album be available, Nick Helm?
Well, it will be available by the time I'm on tour.
Perfect. And they can buy the album at the show, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they can buy it at the show. It'll be available on Spotify.
Lovely.
It'll be available everywhere.
Do you have a working title for the album yet?
It's called Down and Dirty.
Down and Dirty.
My first album was in 2010, and that was called Hot and Heavy. And then I did another album, and I've done like a soundtrack album and stuff like that. And now I'm doing another album called Down and Dirty. But half of the album is really depressing and half of it is really rude. So it's going to be a double album, and the first album's going to be called Down and the second album's going to be called Dirty. And then there's some bonus tracks that are going to be on like a little EP called
That's genius. That's genius. Oh, well, I'm very much looking forward to hearing Down, Dirty and when it's all released. Lots of people sending in their love for you, Nick. Toby, I went to see Nick last year in Newcastle. The show was fantastic. He was super accommodating and getting photos of everyone after the show. Yeah, and by the way, Nick will also have a photo with your shoes if you go and see him on this tour as well.
They've got to be special shoes, let's just say. Yeah. They can't just be shoes.
Okay, if I'm just in like some brogues or something.
And you have to be wearing them. You can't just throw them at me from the audience to the stage.
Okay, but that's just a promise.
Make sure you say that because you have the authoritarian voice.
Okay, if it's, first of all, don't throw your shoes at Nick Helm when you go see him live.
That's a rule for life.
Yeah, yeah, not just when you go see him live. Secondly, if you are wearing special shoes,
yes,
he will have a photo with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
That's kind of my rule. And I'll have that written on my gravestone.
Here lies Nick Helm.
It'll be actually really easy for him.
Colin in Newcastle anyway says he'll be there again later this year to see you. Nick's food show, Eat Your Great Out, was brilliant.
Eat Your Heart Out.
I know, I was going to say that's got to be a typo, right?
Eat Your Great Out.
I know. Eat Your Great Out was brilliant, says somebody here. It was essentially an emotionally wounded kitten diving into restaurants. And Astra in Chelmsford is off to see you in Cambridge later this year as well. We'll go and get your tickets. Can I play a quick game with you before we let you...
Especially St Albans.
Yeah, yes. Buy tickets in St Albans. Because
23rd of November.
23rd of November. Because if you do go and do the show in St Albans and you said some of the kids that bullied you at school are there, it will really add fuel to their fire if there's loads of empty seats.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd say, we had you right all along, Helm.
And I'm not joking. The St Albans gig, not only the first time I played in St Albans, not only am I really kind of like already stressed about it, and I've never gigged there, like in on a tour. But it's twice as big as all the other venues.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like, I'm set up to fail.
No, you'll be fine. Well, me and Dom are going to, if nothing else...
We'll be there.
Me and Dom will be there in special shoes.
It doesn't matter, because if it goes badly, I can leave the venue, and with my eyes closed, I know where Nando's is.
Yes. Absolutely. Perfect. Can I play a quick game with you, Nick?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I know that you're a fan of horror films. Because so am I. I love a horror film.
What's your favourite? You don't have one.
Oh. Do you know, probably, it's really boring. I love the original Halloween.
That's not boring.
I know.
It's Carpenter.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Recently, very much enjoyed Evil Dead Rise. I watched Strange Darling the other day. You seen that?
No.
Enjoyed that as well.
Okay.
Anyway, I digress. We'll chat horror films off there. But I've got a game where I'm going to give you a name, and it's either going to be a horror film or a heavy metal band.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, here we go. So, Nicholas Helm, are you ready?
That went on longer than you... Is it still going to go all the way through?
It's going to go the whole way.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be in the background the whole time.
On a loop.
It's quite distracting.
Oh, no, it's building. Come on.
Okay. Ginger Dead Man.
That's the film.
You are correct. Well done. Yes, Ginger Dead Man.
It's a great one. 5 out of 5 on my letterboxd.
Well, 3.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Well,
Gary Busey's in it.
Of course. I say that. I've never seen it.
Ginger Dead Man 2 is called Passion of the Crust.
Right, that's a heavy metal band.
no, we're still on Ginger Dead Man.
Okay.
And Ginger Dead Man 3 is called Saturday Night Cleaver.
Ah.
So come on.
That is good, but not really about gingerbread anymore.
No, they've really lost their IP.
Cookie cutter. I mean, why wouldn't you call it, anyway.
Evil Edna's Horror Toilet.
That's a heavy metal band.
Yeah, that is a synth/space rock outfit who back in 1986 self-released the cassette called There's Too Much Gristle in This Blancmange.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah, all right. But
That writes itself, doesn't it?
Thistle would have been a bit more satisfying, right? There's too much gristle in this thistle.
Yeah, that would have been nicer.
better.
Weirdly, they self-released that. Couldn't get a record deal.
Really weird, that,
It's
isn't
funny,
it?
that.
Yeah.
I wrestled a bear once.
That is that's a heavy metal band.
That is a heavy metal band whose biggest hit was Taste Like Kevin Bacon.
What was that Bing? Was that I got one right?
Yeah.
I've got 3 right so far. That's
Oh, right.
the first Bing I've heard.
Would you like more bings?
Yes, please.
And then,
One more. There we go.
you happy now?
Yeah. I feel like you on House of Games.
Well, getting things right.
Elbowing people out the way to get to the prize. Sharp elbows, aren't they, Toby?
Biker zombies.
That's a film.
You're good at this. That's a 1.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh.
Do you want to hear the synopsis?
Yeah, go on.
The streets of Detroit are filled with the worst kind of scum, dealers and addicts. The police are overwhelmed and powerless, but they ain't seen nothing yet. A new plague is riding into town. Zombies.
Zombie bikers. Actually, I don't know why you had to read that out, because it's one of those titles that just sort of, it is what it is.
It's like the Ron seal of films, isn't it? It does what it says on the tin.
Yeah, it's like Con Air.
Yeah. Attack of the Killer Donuts. Snakes on a plane. Attack of the Killer Donuts.
The Minority Report. You know what that is going in.
Attack of the Killer Donuts.
Is that a film?
Yeah.
Oh, is this one of the ones?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, film.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, good. Film?
A chemical accident turns ordinary donuts into bloodthirsty killers.
That's good. That sounds great. What kind of donuts?
I don't know that information to hand.
That's the most important piece of information, isn't it? Might be one of them slabs of Krispy Kremes that they throw out at 12:01 on the service stations.
I reckon if you left Krispy Kreme donuts out for long enough, they would eventually turn into bloodthirsty animals.
At 1 minute past midnight, they're still edible.
Nick Helm is going on tour. You can see him 12th of September to Saturday, the 29th of November. He's also got an album coming out called Down and Dirty. It's a double album. One half's called Down, the other half's called Dirty, and then there'll be a bonus tracks called We're going to be going to see him at St Albans. He'd love to sell out the theatre in St Albans, so we'll see you there.
I'd like to sell them all out. I'd like to sell them all out.
Oh, that's true.
Sorry, yeah. But, okay, buy every ticket available on Ticketmaster right now to go and see Nick Helm. Nick, always a pleasure, never a chore. Best of luck with the tour. If I don't see you before, we'll see you on the 23rd of November.
23rd, Sunday the 23rd.
November.
Okay, Sunday. I'm doing St Albans on a Sunday.
You're doing St Albans on a Sunday.
Radio. The Chris Moyles Show.